Hey FLosstube, welcome to Creative Womb Studio. Hey friends, it feels so good to be back doing a video. Normally I like to do them on Saturdays, but I missed a couple Saturdays. One Saturday I was gone to the CMA Fest down in Nashville. So after my last video, which was 2 weeks ago, I think it was on a Saturday, I recorded that one. Anyways, that following Wednesday I left. Girls trip, stayed at Kristen's house, and had an amazing time. Got back that following Monday, which was a week ago yesterday. And then, you know, I've been gone so much this spring. And spring is when all the flowers and everything just goes crazy because of the rain and everything's just growing so fast. And with my Farm Girl Gatherings trip, we went to Florida, and then the CMA Fest, I just haven't tended to my gardens like I normally do in the spring. So it's not just weeds that took over, but I have some aggressive plants that if I don't keep them at bay, they will take over the entire bed. And spiderwort is one of them. Never buy spiderwort unless you're planting them in the field or something. It grows tall. It's kind of grassy looking. It has tons of blossoms like at the top, which are real pretty. I have a really deep pink magenta color, and then I have this amazing purple. But they get tall, like I would say 2 foot tall, 18 inches to 24 inches tall, and then they get heavy and they go like this. And they lay on all of your other flowers and just crush them. So I normally in the spring, I'm pulling them out left and right and just leaving a little patch of them. Well, they took over my front bed with the water fountain in it, or the water fountain, the bird bath in it, and it just looked horrible. It's laying on all of my flowers that I love and want to keep. So I spent Saturday weeding. Well, I cross-stitched in the morning. Then I spent the whole afternoon weeding because the weather was amazing. So we had really hot 90-degree weather last week, but then come Saturday, it was in the 70s. It was amazing. And I'm like, I'm working in the yard. It's not too hot. And I got a lot. I basically weeded around the entire house. And then Kevin weeded this other area, like our hostas. Right outside the studio, there's a clump of pine trees. And we're planting hostas. We have planted hostas there, but we want to continue to split them and just fill in that whole area with hostas. Well, the weeds took over in there, so he worked on that while I worked on the others. And then that night we went to the Steely Dan concert. Steve Winwood was supposed to open, but for whatever reason, he didn't. Instead, Snarky Puppies opened. Or Snarky Puppy. I don't know. But they were kind of a jam band. There was no vocals, but they were very good and complemented Steely Dan's kind of music very well. But we left at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon because we wanted to stop and get something to eat, and we wanted to get there early to hang out, and blah, blah, blah. So it was Kevin, myself, and then our 2 boys. We went to that. And then, of course, Father's Day was Sunday, which was absolutely a total blast. All the kids were here, grandkids, and we cooked out and set up the slip and slide down our hill. So we have a walkout basement, which makes the basement so much more like livable with that big, you know, door down there. So the side of our house is a hill, and our kids growing up loved playing on that hill. So in the winter time, we would sled down it, and then in the summertime, they would set up, we have 3 slip and slides. We need about 5 of them because you could go that far. It's crazy. So we dug out the slip and slides from when the kids, our boys were young, and they were still fine. They were just stored in the garage. We got those out, cleaned them up. I should say Ryan got them out and cleaned them up. He's such a trooper. And the grandkids, we wanted the grandkids to play on it. I knew Easton would because he's a daredevil. If you told him to jump off the roof, I swear he would do it. He was not afraid of heights. He's not afraid of anything. Ellery, on the other hand, did not go on the slip and slide. She did not like it. She tried, and anyway, she just, it freaked her out, I guess, but she didn't want anything to do with it. But Ryan went down it several times. Sometimes, you know, you never grow up. And those are the kind of things, long as you don't get hurt, why grow up? You know, play on the slip and slide until you can't anymore. I didn't attempt it. No, thank you. I probably would have broke something. But anyway, I'll insert some videos at the end of them playing on the slip and slide. It was adorable. So yeah, it was just a really fun-filled, full weekend, and I did not film Flosstubes. I'm like, well, I'll just do it Monday. Well, then yesterday, I was heavily into designing something, charting something on my computer, and I told myself, you're not doing anything till you get this done. Because I freaked out when I realized I only have 2 things out being stitched by Model Stitchers right now. I sent something on Monday to somebody, and then I'm gonna pull the floss and get the linen ready to send this other piece out. But that freaks me out because I normally have stuff out constantly. But a bunch of stuff came in, and then I've just been so busy I haven't sat down and charted things. I've got a lot of things sketched out and things that can be charted and sent. Anyway, so I got that done. I'll show you that at the end. So that's what I've been up to. It feels good to be home. It feels good knowing that I'm not going anywhere the rest of June. Well, July I do have a weekend trip with some girlfriends. It's a bachelorette weekend for one of my best friend's daughters, but she wanted her moms. She calls us all her moms because as our kids were growing up, this group of gals, our kids all went to Holy Rosary together, and we spent almost every weekend together. Someone would host a bonfire, or if it was winter, a lot of times we did it here, and the kids would, you know, sled down the hill. But all these kids grew up together at Holy Rosary, and they call us moms. They have a lot of moms. So anyways, she wanted her moms to go on this trip, and it's going to be, we're going to Mackinac Island, which I'm stoked about because I haven't been there since the boys were little. And then we're staying in Mackinac City and having a bonfire on the beach. I didn't know you could do that, but that's what they said we're going to do. So that'll be a lot of fun. So that's coming up in July. And then the next weekend is our friend trip, our friend weekend that we go on every year. And I couldn't go last year because of COVID. So I'm stoked about it. We've rented an Airbnb. So I got a couple weekend things in July. And then, well, the one is the last weekend of July, the other one's the first weekend of August. And then after that, I don't have anything until September when I go to Quilter Station Retreat, the cross stitch extravaganza, where I get to hang out with amazing people the entire weekend. I'm stoked. So excited about that. Okay, so that's what I've been up to. I didn't even look. Oh, I usually check my last FLosstube to see if there's any questions and make sure I read all the comments. And I totally forgot about it. So I will have to, if there's any questions in there, I'll just bunch them up with next week's video. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just going to get right into what I've been working on. My last video was called I've Got Startitis, I think was the title, and it's so true. I've started so many things, and I've been stitching like 3 hours a day, 4 and 5 on a couple days since I got back from Tennessee. I totally get you all now. It is addictive. It's like I just want to sit and stitch. I could sit and stitch all day and just rotate the projects. It's so fun. I love it, you guys. I totally get you. Oh, by the way, Julie, if you're watching, I still have your pouch. I haven't shipped it yet. My bad. Anyways, I got it right here ready to go, so don't think I forgot you. Oh, yeah, and I made my smoothie for breakfast this morning, and I don't know what I did wrong, but it turned into, I think I just blended it too long and it turned into fluff. Well, actually I can drink it now, but I was eating it with a spoon. It was like taking Cool Whip, and it was like that kind of consistency. It was weird. It was really, really fluffy. At least now I can drink it. Okay. So let's get into whips. My first whip is my painting. I worked again on it for What You Paint Wednesday and painted more on the flags. I put a little more detail on these little buntings. Painted the 3 little stars around his head, and I painted the border around this shield. I think the stars didn't have the red in it. I don't know. Started on the lettering. So tomorrow's What You Paint Wednesday, I will be working on this again, and then I think I'm going to take the rest of the afternoon to finish this painting tomorrow. I've got to get this video done for the people that sent me the paints to do a review on them. I've got to get it done. So hopefully for my next video you'll see this all completed, and I can't wait. I love it so far. And people were asking me if I was going to keep my albino eagle. Well, I may just keep it that way. It depends on how I paint what's left. There's a house down here at the corner, and then there's this flower bouquet. If I keep these colors down here, I'm going to leave the eagle all white. But if I put some warm colors like a mustard color, like his beak, if I do a mustard color or a brown color down here, then I'll probably carry that color up here and then change his legs and his wings back to brown. But I like the way it looks now, so I might just keep with the red, white, and blue and taupey color theme. I'm just going to show you, these aren't really whips. They're not really finishes either. This is just my little sketchbook that I love and adore. I started sketching in it March of this year. It's this cute little square, like 5x5 sketchbook, and I have been drawing in it every couple weeks for my CreateTube video. I'm just going to go through it, and the reason I say they're not finished, the sketch is finished, but I mean, to me they're not finished until they're painted. So like these would be cute watercolor or acrylic paintings. So I'm just going to go through them real quick for you. And this is going to say hop hop hooray, spring is here, if I ever go to paint it or chart it. All of these would be great as cross stitch. Love the folk art Pennsylvania Dutch look. Rabbits. I love those rabbits. So what I do in my CreateTube is I already have it drawn in pencil real lightly, and then I speed it up and I outline it with the black markers, or the black Arteza pens. So that's what I show in CreateTube. I think that's the last one. Yep, that's the last one. Okay, that bird, I'm dying over that little bird with the crown on. Ah, he's so cute. So anyway, I'm going to continue working in that format, that little, I just love these little ink drawings. Alright, so I made a little bit of progress on Cherry Jubilee. My goal on my last video, I said that I wanted to get the little bird stitched. Well, because I got Startitis and I started a bunch of things, that kind of took a lot of my time away from Cherry Jubilee. So I didn't get as much done as I'd hoped. So here we have Cherry Jubilee. What I had done last time. I can insert a picture, but I basically finished the words and then I finished this little box. So it has to be filled in with white. But I'm off. Somehow in there I'm off. I don't know where the mistake happened, but I think because it's off fill-in, it's going to be fine. This is being stitched on LFA linens, Legacy Fiber Arts linen, which is Sue and Rachel of Floss Toss. It's a 40 count Old North Church. I did sub out some of the colors because of the colors weren't showing up on this linen. So DMC 355, I switched to, oh, you know why I switched that? The only reason I switched that is because I didn't have any DMC 355. So I switched it to DMC 3777. I also switched out DMC 3866 for the white, and I'm using Classic Colorworks Toasted Marshmallow. So I guess I could show you what it's supposed to look like. So this is a Patreon chart, came out in April for tier 3 and 4. So I explained last week how you can get this chart. You just basically have to become a patron, and then you have access to the past charts in a password protected site. So my goal was to get that little bird stitched. So now my goal for this week is to stitch that bird and that little heart. I think I'll leave the white fill in for another day. Like a day I need mindless work with no counting, where I can just fill it in. So that is that one. Progress is progress, right? It doesn't matter how much you get done, long as you get in a little bit. It's still progress. Okay, one of the pieces I started, this is also, a lot of my things, okay, let me just tell you. A lot of the things I'm stitching are my Patron designs, and the reason is because if I want them in my hot little hands all finished, I'm going to have to stitch them myself, because I'm not sending them out to be model stitched unless I'm going to do that like and have a release of it in a book or something. So anyways, if I want something stitched from Patreon, I got to do it myself. So that's why I'm working on these. All right, the next one, well, let me show you here. Marion Bright. This is the June ornament for Patreon. So let me explain that part. At one point, I was thinking about having a tier 5 because I have 4 tiers. And I thought, well, I can do tier 5 and then the people in tier 5 would get an ornament a month. Anyways, I do polls a lot in Patreon for people to give their input. What do they want? I want Patreon to be a place where people feel like they have a voice anyways, so I did a poll and somebody mentioned, well, how about if you just design one a month and we have to pay for it? So they're only $5 each. So once a month I have an ornament. January through May, the ornaments coordinated with the 3 charts that I design every month for Patreon. But starting June through the rest of the year, they're all going to be Christmas themed. So that's a little background on the ornaments for Patreon. This one is called Marion Bright, and I love that little Santa face. I started on June 7th. I'm stitching it on 40 count Weeks Dye Works Mocha. I switched out, I wanted mine to be more prim, so I switched out the DMC 3866, which is the white for the beard and all that. I switched it out for DMC 644, and I love it. I can't wait to get him finished and make him into an ornament, or maybe just a small pillow. I don't know. He's very, very cute. And on 40 count, he's super small. Look how little he is. That's my hand. That's my hand, y'all. He's very little, and it's super cute. I love him. The other piece I started is 1810 Folk Art. This is June Patreon for tier 2, 3, and 4. So this one, if you join now in tier 2, 3, or 4, you can get this for free if you join in June. If you wait till July, then you'll have to buy it. Anyways, 40 count, I'm stitching this on 40 count needle and flax Dolly Madison. And this was an original painting. I sold it. One of those ones I regret selling because I love it. I don't have a big start on it. But I can tell you this, I love stitching on needle and flax linen and LFA linens. Oh my gosh, they're a dream to stitch on, both of them. So that's how far I got. I got the top border going along there. And there's a lot of stitching in this, so this will probably take me quite a while to do, but it's okay. It's a fun stitch. So far it's been super easy to do. And it's a big honking piece that I need to cut. I didn't measure it and cut it. I just took the whole piece of Dolly Madison, and I'm like, well, once I get the border done, I'll know how much I can cut off. And I don't like having all that excess fabric. It gets in my way. So I need to get that border. I'm not one to do the whole border first because it's... Although, you know, on this one though, on this one I could just do that inside black border. There's a little, just one stitch, or I could just do that, and that would tell me enough of, you know, how much I could cut off. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe that'll be my goal this week on that one. I started this a couple nights ago. This is from the Farm Girl Gathering. I stitched Molly's hands, and then I had Karen Simmons stitch the main piece for the Farm Girl Gathering. This is one I didn't have time to stitch. I should have sent it out to be stitched, but I didn't. Anyways, I want to get it stitched because a year from now, I'm releasing all 3 of those patterns. So I'm like, I want to get this done. I don't know that I'll frame it. It looks really cute framed though, but it's really small. So I think I might make it into a pillow. I don't know. You'll see how far I've gotten on it. And that way I've got all 3 pieces done. Once I get it finished, I can photograph it and change out this computer generated image, slap in the new one. That way when it's time to release it next year, I will have it all ready. So I want to stitch it now and just be ready, you know? Think ahead. All right. There it is. So much I got done. And I'm loving it. It's super fun to stitch. It's so small. Like, here's my hand. Look how little it is. It's very small. I'm stitching this on 40 count Vintage Country Mocha, which is what they got in their kit. Hands to work, hearts to love. The last piece I'm working on is also a Patreon special. I wanted to find a way to deepen the connection with the tier 4 members of Patreon. So I had this idea that we could do a stitch along, like a mystery sale. So I had, I think, 4 or 5 sketches. I went live one night. We talked about, I showed them the 4 sketches, and then the next day I did a poll, and they got to vote on which one they wanted the mystery sale to be. So they chose Strawberry Manor, and this is how it's working in Patreon. It's for tier 4 only, and on June 15th, I released the first section. I have it broken into 8 different sections, and I will release one a month until we're done. It's no extra charge to them to get this pattern and do the sale. So we are stitching this together, and it's a total blast, and everyone's sharing their progress in the Facebook group. So what's going to happen is every month I'll release a new part to it. When we get it done, this is my goal. I'm stitching it with them. Oh, also once a month I'm doing Zoom meetings with Tier 4. I have 3 Zoom meetings set up. In case the first meeting gets full, people can join the second one, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I'm doing Zooms with them once a month, and we're just chatting and stitching together, working on Strawberry Manor. When we are done with the sale, it will be, I think, like February of 2023. So I will have my piece stitched as well. Then I will go and have it framed by the one and only Paula of Craft Gallery, and then I will release that pattern at the Nashville market in March. That's the plan. Okay, so if you are in Tier 4 now, or if you join it 6 months from now and we're still working on it, you will have access to all of it. Okay, but I can tell you this, after I release the last piece of the mystery sale, it'll be there for like a week, and then I'm deleting all the posts that have to do with the mystery sale. So if you want to stitch Strawberry Manor without, purchasing it later when I release it next year, you can join Tier 4 and stitch it with us. So what I'm getting at, I want to let you know that this will be available to the public eventually, okay? My goal, like I said, is Nashville 2023. But if you want to join the sale and you want to stitch it with us at no extra charge, then you would want to join my Patreon at Tier 4. Okay. The thing I also want to mention is that I plan on, once that sale is done, I might like skip a month, but then I'm going to start another sale. So this is going to be an ongoing thing with the Tier 4 members. I think it's a really fun way. Everyone's stoked about it and excited to be a part of it. So it's a way of bringing that community together. And so anyways, it's just been fun. And I've been working my little fingers off on it because I have to keep up. This is like all the other things I'm stitching, there's no pressure. I can get that done when I can get it done. Where this, every month I'm releasing a new piece of it, so I have to have that previous month done, right? So this is kind of a priority for me. So I'm just going to kind of show you what we're working on right now. So that basically right there, it's super blurry. Hold on. There we go. So like part of the house we haven't stitched, but all the grass and the sheep right about there it was the first piece of the puzzle. So the stitch count is, oh, I forget. Do I have it written down here? Yeah, the stitch count on that is 213 by 152. So it's not super huge. I'm stitching mine. Oh, well, let me show you what I'm doing. I'm stitching mine on XU Designs 40 count aged hazelnut, and it's looking really pretty. Those colors are looking really pretty. So here's my progress on that so far. Yeah, so I've got to get the house done, and well, there's part of the house missing on the page because that's for next month, but then the grass with the fence and the sheep, I have to get that part done. Oh, of course, the border. I've got these little strawberries coming around in the border, so I've got to get that done too by July 15th, which I don't think will be a problem. I mean, I haven't spent a million hours on what I've gotten done so far. You know, I mentioned to them in one of the live videos that I was kind of apprehensive of stitching on XU Designs. I can't remember what I stitched on it before. I want to say it was Sally Emerson. I stitched Sally Emerson on Grandma's Slip from XU Designs. And I kind of struggled with it. I felt like the holes were too tight, and I struggled with it. And it could be why I had so many mistakes on that too. I'm not blaming anyone but myself for the mistakes, but I do think that played a part in it. So I was really apprehensive of using another XU Designs, but I have a ton of her stuff. I love her colors, And I thought, you know, I'm going to go for it. I did a poll again with the members of Patreon, and I showed 3 different fabrics, and I said, you know, which one do you guys think? I was leaning towards that one anyways. But anyway, for whatever reason, the aged hazelnut, this I can see the holes way better. So I don't know why that would be. I'm assuming she has the same process of dyeing for all of her stuff. But anyway, this I can see the holes, and it's a delight to stitch on. So I was really happy about that, because I thought, well, I'm going to start stitching on it. And if it's a total pain in the butt, I'm going to switch my fabric out, because I had some other colors I liked as well. So that's where that stands. Those are my whips, guys. And I didn't get anything else punched on that punch needle design, which I really got to get on that. There's not enough hours in the day, y'all. So this coming week, well, I'd like to get back on the Saturday recording. So, I mean, it's already Tuesday, so Saturday there's not going to be a lot of time in there, but I might do it anyway just to get back on schedule. So my goal this week is to work a little bit on all of the things that I showed you because I love it, but also work on that punch needle. I am in full-on designing mode right now. I have a lot of ideas. It's just hard to keep it all inside. But charting takes a very long time. I showed a picture in Patreon of how the picture how my sketch comes into the program that I use for charting, which is MaxStitch. And it is pixelated, and but it gives me a guide to go by, and it kind of helps me with the shape of how it's going to be. So it comes in, it takes hours and hours. I mean, I spent all day yesterday. Yesterday I worked a 16-hour day. And I mean, I did stitch quite a bit in the morning, but the rest of the day was just focused on getting this piece charted. And I also did something really unique with this piece. I wanted to kind of branch out in my colors, but it's very nerve-wracking doing that because I have my standard go-tos. So I went to Pinterest, and if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw this picture, but I went, or did I put it on Instagram? Yeah, I put it on Instagram. I went into Pinterest because I save palettes that I like in there, color palettes, and I chose a color palette that I liked, and I designed this chart called Nature. I'm not going to zoom in, but you can see it from a distance. It's these funky birds. It's super fun. It's got the alphabet going around, but so it has A, and then when it got to B, it says birds, and then it says D, C, D, E, and then for F, it says folk art. G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, and for W, it says whimsical. X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I thought that was kind of fun and clever. But what it says is, nature fortifies the soul and brings peace to the heart, from which love flows like a river. So there's a river in there, and there's this flower bouquet, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 birds in here. It's full of fun and whimsy, and I just love it. So that, I'm going to pull the floss and the linen for that today, and hopefully get that sent out to one of my model stitchers today. And then I've got like 5 other things that I want to get charted. I probably won't get those done by Saturday. And I'm not going to show you everything that I chart because I want you to be surprised when it comes out. But I got to get things charted. I mean, I feel like Nashville's right around the corner. I mean, seriously. It's a huge effort to get ready for Nashville. And I want to have things in Nashville that, you know, nobody has seen, that are surprises and stuff. So anyway, I got that going on. I do have 3 things that I'm going to be sending out to my model stitchers that are rather small. One of them has a lot of they're fractional stitches, which, because I charted it a long time ago, So I'm gonna get rid of those fractional stitches in it. So I've got to kind of work on that one a little bit. But these are 3 that I have sent out to model stitchers like over 2 and 3 years ago that I no longer can reach these people, and it's just makes me super sad. But anyway, it is what it is, right? So here's one. It's called Wispy Winds, and I sent this out September of 2018 to a model stitcher. Well, something happened with her and she couldn't finish it, so she gave it to her friend, and her friend also happens to be one of my model stitchers. So she received it July of 2019, and I still don't have it. So I'm going to re-pull the colors and the linen and send it out to somebody else because it's really cute and I wanna have it. I mean, it's already stitched, or it's already charted. That's crazy not to. This one I absolutely love, but this is the one with a lot of fractional stitches. Snowman Trio. I love that house and they're just so stinking cute. So I will be recharting that. I sent that out to a model stitcher August 27th of 2019. There's no way she's still working on it, and I can't get a hold of her, so I'm sending it to someone else. This one I sent out October 28th of 2019. And it's a Tombstone Angel. I absolutely love it. I did this as a painting, a very prim painting. It was like, I really gouged it up and roughed it up. I think I sold it though. Yeah, I had it hanging in here, but I don't see it anymore. I'm pretty sure I sold the original. But I love this Tombstone Angel. It's done in grays, like blue grays and cream colors, and all of the lightest colors you see in there is the fabric color. So it's all the grays and grays and like blue grays that are stitched. So yeah, I'm sending the 3 of these out to be stitched by someone else because obviously I'm not getting them back. Okay. I have some amazing finishes from some folks that I want to share with you. I'm going to insert pictures. Let me just start by saying thank you for sending in your beautiful pieces. Actually, they didn't send them in. We have a Patreon Facebook group, and that's where everybody shares their work. It doesn't have to be my stuff. It can be whatever they're working on. So anyway, when they post something in there that is of mine, I ask them if I can share it on my FLosstube, and 100% of the time so far, people have said yes. So the first one is from Heather Fedor. She finished Bunny's Wagon. Now this was a Patreon design, but it is available in the Patreon's secret shop for purchase. She stitched 1/1 on 28 count Irish linen. The backing fabric and trim she picked up at Joann's. She used all the called for DMC colors except for kudzu. So cute, Heather. Thank you so much for allowing me to share that. Next we have Betty Yulin. She stitched Honey and Wool Farm on 28 count mystery fabric with the called for threads. Her frame is absolutely perfect for that piece. I love it. Thank you, Betty. Next we have Darlene Barada. She stitched Cherry Jubilee. She stitched it on 32 count tarnished silver by Lakeside Linens. She used all the called for DMC. So pretty. Thank you, Darlene. Brenda Miller. She finished the USA Ornament, which was the June ornament for Patreon, and she used Vanna's tutorial for finishing it into a star ornament. I love it. So cute. She said she's working on filling her dough bowl. Awesome. All her finishes look great in that bowl. Thank you, Brenda. Next we have Joan Seidel. I hope I'm saying that right. She has 2 finishes. The first one is Broad Stripes and Bright Stars book. This is Long May She Wave. She finished it exactly like I did on that same piece. I love that trim she has though, that jute rope going around the edge looks really, really good. And then she made those cute little flags as well. Well done, Joan. Thank you. And then she also finished the Marion Bright June 2022 Patron Ornament. And she finished it with that cute little rusty bell. And her plaid fabric for the back is absolutely perfect. So cute. So thank you, Joan, for letting me show those on my floss tube. Thanks, guys. You're not guys, but that's what we say here in Michigan. Maybe it's a Midwest thing. I don't know. Hey, guys. Thanks, guys. Thank you, ladies, for allowing me to share that on my FLosstube video. So if you have a finish of mine and you want me to feature it here in my video, all you have to do is email me at teresakoget3@gmail.com. Let me know what fabric and floss you used. If it's something different than the called for, that'd be great. Thanks. Yesterday, while I was charting for, I don't know, what seemed like endless amount of hours, I watched a couple movies. Actually, I started one that was just so filthy. I mean, it was that dumb humor, like, I can't explain it, but it was just filth. Filth, filth, filth. So I turned it off. I'm like, I can't watch this. So I watched one, though, called Guilt Trip, and oh my gosh, that had Seth Rogen and Barbra Streisand in it, and it was so good. It was just, I cried at the end because the love she has for her son in this movie, I could so relate to it. I love spending time with the boys. I mean, I love spending time with Bree and Eric and the grandkids, my whole entire family. I love and adore. I am a very blessed woman. But there's something about a mother and son love that's just, it's just unique. That's all I'm going to say. And Barbra Streisand, I mean, just watch it. It's really good. Especially if you have sons. It's just really good. It's pretty darn funny too. I wanted to bring up something that I saw on Angela's video. Angela has an amazing channel called Happy Little Stitch Shop, or Happy Little, yeah, Stitch Shop. She does live videos, guys, twice a week. One early in the week is her floss tube, and then she does one later in the week. I think it's on Thursdays because I usually have the grandkids. I think the other one is on Thursdays, and it's more about quilting. But these are live videos. And she does it at the same time on the same days each week. That is commitment. That is amazing. I am so, like, proud of her because that's not an easy thing to do, to be, I'm doing this at this time every week, and then she does it twice a week. So I'm so impressed by that. It's fun to watch. It's even more fun to join the live. I forget, though, what time it, because she's in a different time zone. I think she's 2 hours behind me. And anyway, I caught the live, I think, one time, and that was only because Colleen, Stitching with the Sisterlies, you need to come to the live, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that was wonderful. So Colleen, anytime you're going to go on her live, just text me. So she was talking, I watched the replay of her live this morning when I was stitching, and she mentioned that on Instagram, you can click the bell to get notifications when your favorite people on Instagram post something. Whether it's a reel, you can actually choose if you want it to be on their posts, on their reels, on their stories. Let me find my phone and I will show you. Alright, since I mentioned Stitching with the Sisterlies, which is Colleen, so see the bell? Where is it? See the bell up here? Click on it. Alright, and then this pops up. I can click on all of those things, post, stories, reels, videos, live videos. And I can click so that I get a notification whenever. Anyways, I didn't have my push notifications turned on or something. Anyways, I gotta go fix that. But I think that's really cool. I get enough notifications that I wouldn't do that with like every single person I follow, because Instagram is one of those apps that when I go to it, I scroll, like at the end of the day, I scroll and scroll because I follow artists, stitchers, like there's a lot of eye candy and just so yummy. Like I love it so much. So I don't need necessarily a notification every time someone posts, but especially for live video, heck yeah. If someone's going to do a live video on Instagram, I want to be alerted to that. So anyway, I like that it's customizable that way, that it's not everything they do on Instagram. You can actually pinpoint what you want. I didn't know that, so I'm going to link Angela's her YouTube channel below so that you can follow her, because she's just a doll and she's so sweet, and it's fun to watch her video. You guys need to check her out, okay? And then go to Instagram and, you know, check out people that, like Primrose Cottage, they do a lot of live videos, and I always miss the live videos, but if I, you know, click on that, I'll be alerted, which will be nice. So maybe I can catch them live sometime. All right, guys, I'm rambling. I'm gonna let you go. Have a wonderful week. The rest of the week, I guess I should say, I really do think I'm gonna try to record this Saturday, which means I gotta stitch a whole bunch of stuff and finish that painting so I have something to share. I have a feeling this Saturday is gonna be a really short video. So anyway, love you guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget, create every day. Bye.